Welcome to GiGiHoogaHome. Today we're doing meat and potatoes. Say hi to everyone, Winston. Winston says hi.
Whoa, whoa. Okay, there we go now. All right. Ouch. Still good. I touched my finger, but I'm not wounded. And there we go. There we go. Be careful when you're using a knife. Just a couple of tablespoons in there. Really just something to coat the bottom of the pan. Okay, I'm just going to put the lid back on. Okay, we're going to hit bake. We're going to go turn it up as high as it'll go, and I'm not even sure what this brand new oven will go to. Wait a minute, what did we see there? All right. Okay, let's keep going. There we go. Let's see how it goes. I'm hoping it'll go to 550. Oh my God. Oh, I thought so. I thought so. Okay, so this oven's going to get really hot. This is 300 degrees Celsius. We're going to put our pan in, and we're going to get that sucker hot. I think I might not have should have put the oil in it yet, because it's going to get really hot. But I tell you what, I'm going to let the oven heat up a little bit first to 550, and then I'll put the pan in so I won't burn my oil. I have a more precise understanding of it. Push on. Okay, help me, idiot. Ouch. I'll push bake. How about that? I think that's what they meant. Is it heated? It's not heated. It hasn't even come on yet. Start. It's preheating. Okay. Well, this is not an example of how much I can cook or how good I can cook. It's just an example of how good I can work a digital stove. Don't you know? Hi, I am testing to see what I'm getting. I got the pre, I've got this. You look at it, it's oil. And there you go. Okay, we're doing it again. And it's still heating up, if you can see the pre. And I still have that. There you go. But we also have some blood. If you're vegetarian, this will offend you. but it's not meant to. And here's some white wine. If you're an alcoholic, this will offend you. It's not meant to. This is grape juice. If you're one of those bad priests, this will offend you. It's not meant to. Here's some water. Not like the water I grew up on. And as you can see, I've already started cutting here. Let's go over to the onions. I hope this is showing. I'm going to pick up my cut onions and put them over here so I can show you how to cut a little bit of the meat. I would suggest cutting about 20% of the fat off. That's just how I do it. So that's that first one. And you can see a little bit of fat left there. That big thick chunk I didn't see. A lot of bone. This thing is meant to cook a certain way. Here's the second one. It doesn't look like it needs any trimming, to be honest with you. So that was the second one, just in case you missed it. We're going to cut at least one more down. Depends on how much meat you find, because you didn't used to, fat. You didn't used to find as much fat. I think they, I don't know how the meat's going these days. Of course, we prefer to get organic. If you got that kind of money or you got the source, go for it, baby. I say go for it. And just a look, we're going to fry this for the doggy, so don't think that's going to waste. And just a whole, just that. I mean, you can see it. It's just a little bit. Okay. That's not all of the meat, but that's probably all we're going to trim down. Unless we see something ginormous. That's got a big piece on the end. I think we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and cut this big piece on the end right here. Yeah. This one. There you go. And we'll cook this for Winston. Oh, it's going to be so good. And we'll leave some just like it is. Again, I apologize for the vegetarians. I know this is hard to see, knowing what you know. But we're going to work on that a little bit at a time throughout 2021. So, a little bit of the... there it goes. Clean that up just a little bit. Alright. Now we're going to see what our oven's on. It's on 550, buddy. That's the highest it will go. So we're going to put the pan in and get it heated. Now, I already put the oil in it too, so it won't take long. Sorry about that. I'm going to put an 8-minute timer on it. And we'll start it. Voila. Here you go. Okay, so we just have a few seconds left on our timer. We're going to pull this out. It seems to be nice and hot and smoky. And the timer's going off. Okay, it's at 550. So very hot. So we're going to go ahead, put the meat in. And it's immediately sizzling. These are beef short ribs. What I wanted was oxtail, but you can't get it. And this last little bit. And we'll put the lid on it and stick it back in. I'm looking for my Hold on, here they are. Ouch. Get it back in, get it back in, get it back in. While it's nice and hot. There we go. Okay. I hope we can still see this. It's been about 7 minutes. We're going to check it. No, it looks really good. Starting to sweat. The onions are starting to sweat. Give it some. Everything's looking really good. It's almost falling apart now. There we go. Get that in there, and in there, and in there. Okay. There we go. Now, we're going to add our liquids. A little bit of blood from the package. I don't know what that's going to do. A little bit of white wine. Sacrifice. No, try. A little bit of grape juice. We're going to see where we're going with this because I want to add some water. So we'll add some water before we finish with that grape juice. And I just want to just lightly cover it. And that looks fine. There we go. See, it's lightly covered. That's what I want to do. Now I'm going to put it on 12 hours. In the arch. 12 hours, and here we go. I am going to turn it down. And it's on 550. So let's cancel off. And let's start it. See if it'll start. It won't start. Oh, wait, bake. That's it. 350. We're going to go to 200. And we're going to start. Okay, 200 degrees it is. It's going to cook just like it is with the onions and the meat and all the broth. We call it braising. I'll cook it for 12 hours and see what I think. Okay, thank you. And ouch. I have decided to go off recipe, and so we're going to pull this out. It's been cooking at 200 for just a few minutes. Oh, not much. And we pull the lid off. We're going to put some bay leaves in it. I know that sounds crazy just to add something on your own, but I think we're going to do it. A nice leaf in that liquid, a nice leaf in that liquid, and maybe over here. Let's put one more over here. There we go. And voila. I don't know why I want to do it, but I do. It's going to cook for a very long time. I'm just going to shake it up a little bit. Oh, get those bay leaves wet. And there you go. Voila. Hi, welcome back. It's been 12 hours.
I took it out of the oven. The oven actually turned off after 12 hours. This is a new oven. It's digital. And so I wasn't expecting that, but that was okay. When I checked on it early this morning, the oven was still going. And then when I checked on it a couple of hours later, it had shut off. So I believe it was a 12-hour time frame. Now, I have done a couple of things. One, I've reached in with a spoon and taken off, see this layer of fat here? There was a lot of fat. Also, I've gone through it with my spoon and I have found all of the bones. I'm going to save these for my dog. He's chewing on one now. Hello, Winston. And I'll just put them in a baggie and put them in the freezer probably, just to make sure that they stay viable for him in the best way possible. You know, I've been buying bones like this for him that are about $8 for a small pack of 5. So, you know, I've got $20 worth of bones right here for Winston. I have also found the bay leaves. One of them's kind of torn in two, but if I piece it back together, it looks like I got most of it. Okay. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes. It's not very pretty. It's not glamorous, but it's necessary in order to get that beautiful dish to the table. So, to reiterate, or maybe I've already told you, I used my spoon. I dipped in to pull out all that heavy grease that was on top, or all that grease that was on top. I reached in and fished out all these bones. These will be great for Winston. I've been buying his bones for $5 or $6 or $7 or $8 a pack for a small pack of 5. Highly processed, ugly looking bones, but these are fresh, so to speak. And I can put them in baggies in the freezer. He's having one now. Let's just go look at him. Hello, Winston. Hello. There he is. It's probably hard for you to see. Okay, so again, we're doing the behind the scenes stuff. I am going through with my fingers, pull out pieces of globules of fat. They go away, and the good meat goes in the pot. I have fished out the bay leaves. That took a little while to find them in all of this. And just one more time, usually the fat will just kind of fall away from the meat and separate pretty nice for you. Anyway, that's what we're going to do here. One thing that we're going to do is season the meat with salt, because we have not done that, and that's by design. You don't want to give the salt a chance to toughen the meat in any way. And also, it'll be just for seasoning. The meat tastes delicious right now. You can just tell that it needs some salt. And so you won't have to add a lot of salt, because it's just for seasoning at this point. It's not gonna, the flavor's not gonna cook away because the cooking's already been done. All right. Well, I will continue with this dirty work. And when we come back, we're going to have a beautiful bowl full of delicious stuff. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I almost finished this before I realized I needed to show you. All of this white is the cold fat that has solidified on top. And I simply take my spoon and pull it back. And then I just take it and dip it out. So all of that is fat. So I wanted to show you a little trick. When I peel my potatoes, I put out a little bag, and that's where my composting stuff can go in. I've just got a couple of more of these potatoes to peel. I will say that I've been peeling potatoes for a long time, so be careful if you're using this method. A lot safer method would be a potato peeler, a little thing that is not completely safe, but a little bit safer than a knife. But I've been using a knife for a long time. I like to try to get these red potatoes pretty clean. Sometimes I will cut most of the skin off and then leave about half when I want it to have skin. But today I'm not looking for that. I think the meat is so hearty that I want the potatoes just to be real creamy. And we will finish this up. I've got one more. I start the potatoes in cold water, and whenever I'm done, I like to dip my potatoes out or save some of the broth, because if it needs any liquid at the end, I like to use the broth because it'll give it a real good potato flavor. If you're using, like, you put milk and butter in it or whatever, but you can also just add the potato juice itself. And I kind of look them over and see if the tip of the knife kind of get any of that out that you need to get out. Try to, clean them up a little bit. And then this can go to the compost bin, or it's ready for the trash. Voila. I'll rinse these off real good before I put them in cold water and cover with cold water. So just give them a nice rinse. You can see they're not completely clean, but they're pretty good. Just a little bit of that. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to get out a big pan. I'm going to cube my potatoes. I'll show you some of that. Let me show you one. You can kind of do them any way you want. The bigger the chunk, the longer it will take to cook. I've just always kind of done them this size. And so there you have it. One more. This is probably going to take a 3. 2 and 3. The other one just took 2. And then I'd go once to the side. And I've got the little cubes. Alright, I'll finish this. Top it with water. Put it on heat. Bring it to a boil. You can turn it down, but you want to keep it at a boil. Cook it till it's done. You can use a fork to insert it into it, and if you don't feel resistance, it's done. I like to get mine out before they are pulverized and down to just overcooked. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I believe these are done. We're just gonna, oh yes, the fork went all the way through, no problem. So I've already pulled off, no I haven't. I'm gonna pull off a little bit of water just in case I should misjudge and get them too dry. That is plenty, because I'm going to drain these, not all the way. So I like to just do it like this. I try not to lose any of my potatoes. And try to get as much as you can off, because it's easier to add liquid than it is to try to figure out how to make the potato not runny. Woo, there you lost one. And again, just shake it one more time and get just a little bit more. Ooh, okay, that's enough. All right. I'm going to add a dab of butter and some mayonnaise. No, that might have upset some people, but that's how I like to do it. Now already it feels like it's too dry. Ouch. There we go. So I'm going to add a couple of splashes of this broth back to it. And here we go. Now for seasoning, I'm just going to add a little salt. And that's all. Not too much. Get that stirred in. And there, voila. Now then, let us go ahead and plate. I have my bowl, nice big spoon, get the creamy cream potatoes. I learned to use mayonnaise in my cream potatoes because of the best meal I've ever had. That was Mrs. Gould. She lived on the farm way back in the day. It was just her, and she had the chickens. She made chicken, but she did it with her own chickens. They gave her eggs. She cooked on a wood stove. Now we're just gonna give it some juicy yummy yummies for my tummies. This has had a splash of elderberry concentrate. I told you I was going to add some butter, and I didn't, but I'm going to do that now just for you. Which you turn it off anytime that you're adding the butter. It just gives it a nice gloss. And that butter will melt right in and help the meat be glossy and pretty. All right, so let's take a bite. Stove is off. Beater's unplugged. Oh, whoa! Okay. And are you ready? That is good. Meat and potatoes. The elderberry concentrate, I only added about a spoon of it, and it just really livens it back up from being heavy meat. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on GiGiHoogaHome. If you've watched all the way, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you, and have a great day.